Hello, everybody. This is Lily here. Today is April 30th, and I wanted to actually give you a little update on CERN and talk a little bit about CERN because there's a lot of information that's coming out about CERN, and a lot of people are talking about it in alternative media. And I sort of wanted to give my perspective on that for us Earthlings to sort of look for and what does that information that is being released or given to us through alternative media, what does it mean, and how we can decode it and see it deeper than the meaning of words. Okay? Because we are at the moment, for Earthlings, we are healing ourselves and we are becoming that full body intelligent beings. And for that, for us, just the words don't mean as much as, what's behind the words. We have to recognize the energy that is behind the words. Words are used, for spelling. It put a spell on us. But if we recognize the energy that is behind the words and behind the information, then we will be able to see the energy that is driving that. And then for that, when we are able to recognize the energy that's behind us, then the magic is taken out of those words, because it's almost like, let me give you an example. When a magician does a trick, all right, and you sit in the audience and you see the trick happens right in front of your eyes, and you do not see how it's done. This is what happens when we, with CERN, listen to the information given to us about CERN. We don't know how that magic trick is done, because we cannot go beyond the words to recognize the energy behind the words. And if we are doing that, when we recognize the energy behind words, then what we're looking at is we are recognizing or getting to know how that trick is done. And when we know how the trick is done, then we take the magic sort of part out of it. And for that, once we know the energy or we know how the trick works, then it's no longer magic to us. Because being fooled is the signature of the magic trick. It's being fooled, meaning you don't know how it's done. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I want to talk about how CERN is actually, is pulling a magic trick on us. And I know there's a lot of information, and I've been, sent a lot of information on a lot of YouTube channels, and also all kinds of alternative media sources where people discuss CERN. And for the majority of that information, most of that information will have a sort of Christian program flavor to it. I want to go a little bit into that, why that is. Let's see. Maybe I will go ahead and recap what CERN is. And by the way, I put this up here because we know about one CERN location that is right here in Switzerland. But this D from One Network, from Roundtable, had sent me that, and you can't see it. This is just a little part of the map, but I don't know how to print the whole map. But this is a list, but it printed the list. Look at how many pages it goes on for. This is the list of all CERN connected locations around the planet. This is like 5 pages here, okay? This is a little part of it, and look how many of them are here, just in that one part. And I wanted to ask you, first of all, to everyone, there's so many locations around the world. Why are we showing online only what is happening in one Switzerland location? I'll tell you later why, after I explain what CERN is. CERN is the modern, as I started calling, it is a modern pyramid system, which is designed to harvest Earth energy, harvest people's energy, and keep us locked in the matrix system. This is what pyramids used to do. Lock us in matrix system, in extended light reality, which is the cyclical time of matrix and extreme duality, reverse polarized light existence, extreme duality, matrix system. This is what pyramids used to do. Okay, how they used to do it, it's a little bit of a long story, but quickly I'm just going to remind everybody that that time loop, that time experiment was created from which I started to call a time in the timeline as Atlantis disaster. It was created through a crystalline grid. The crystals that are being used to keep us in the matrix are what some call them Atlantean grids. I mean Atlantean crystals. Atlantean crystals are nothing more than a moldavite. I don't know if you guys know a lot about moldavite, but moldavite is not original to this planet. It was brought in here from other places. That's all I'm going to say. That moldavite is very important. This is the Atlantean crystal, and through that crystals, first of all, this Atlantean crystals programmed the planetary crystals to that harvesting program, meaning extended light reality, meaning matrix system. So all the crystals on the planet had actually been programmed to the matrix, to serve the matrix. That moldavite is very important for them to have right now, because for this modern pyramid system that they're creating with CERN, they need that moldavite. When moldavite is in the earth for a long time, it creates around it that titanium. This is what the Ukraine whole thing is all about. As we know, in Ukraine they found the oldest pyramid in the world. Where there's pyramids, there's moldavite around. So in Ukraine they actually found a lot of that moldavite, and it is buried a couple of kilometers under the coal mines. And this is ultimately why we have a war in Ukraine. It's because they need that sort of distraction to be created, so then they can hide their true intentions and their unifying intentions. Because that moldavite is very important for them if CERN to succeed. Because if they don't get enough of that moldavite, CERN will not be able to succeed. Okay? So, and their biggest problem right now, as I say, the reason why they couldn't use anymore the old, the pyramid system to do so, to keep us in another cycle, because we were at the point 2012 to 2017 is the point where we are supposed to be going into another cycle, and this is what they were creating. That's your ascension, basically, is locking you into another matrix cycle. The reason why they need to create a pyramid system is um, because of the tilt. So the pyramids are out of alignment because, like I said before, the astral levels are stayed in the same place. They're at the right angle of orbit, the astral levels. And then the Earth's physical grids had actually went 23.4 degree north. And so that sort of, those portals to what this loop is actually working, and it's connected also to Saturn, Moon, and the other planet. There's one other planet. The name of it is escaping me right now. But anyway, that's a different level. I'm not gonna go into this because that's a whole another talk about, you know, the other planets. Saturn is huge, playing role in this, you know, locking us down in another matrix cycle. But that's a whole another story. I'll probably will do another video about that. Let's just keep it sort of to our planetary level for now, because we need to sort of figure it out, all the mechanics, and take the magic out of the magic tricks. And when we know how this magic is done, at least on this side, then, you know, we can move to a next level of decoding this matrix system. So basically, I'm going to stick to the planetary level. So now the pyramid system is not working. Okay? It's not working. CERN is a replacement of those pyramid systems, because the one unifying, and I've been telling this for a long time, that one unifying objective on all controlling you know, system, on our controlling system, on our spiritual hierarchy and our hierarchy on the planet, a human hierarchy, they have one unifying goal, and that is to activate this matrix time loop, which is the positive timeline, the ascension, the shift. I mean, all the New Age religions and old age religions, all the spiritual teachings on the planet are working towards this matrix system. Okay? There is no doubt about that. Right now, at the moment, and I said this in a previous video, that most people that are in alternative media, 99% of what you see in alternative media is actually working a CERN agenda. They don't say that. They won't even admit to themselves. They might even not know that they work CERN agenda, but they do. Everything, any ascension, any type of spiritual teachings or any type of knowledge that has to do with the cyclical time matrix or a positive timeline or whatever you want to call it, or shift or higher, you know, on movement in consciousness. I mean, there's so many different things. All of that is moving or activating a matrix time loop. Because right now they can't activate it due to this tilt. They couldn't activate that because the pyramid system didn't work. And so the CERN stuff, they realized, and I've said this before, about around 100 years ago, they realized that this tilt was not just a side effect of them pulling us into another matrix loop, that it was actually Planet who did it herself to prevent another cycle. And when they realized, this is when they started building a new pyramid system that they would be able to do that through. And this is why when you look at this list of all CERN related companies and everything that's out there, this 5 pages list that I showed you, some of it will say that they're closed and all of this stuff. None of it is closed. Everything is open right now, and they've started this CERN project back in 40s, okay, in 1940s. Anyway, so this is what I was sort of going to say, what this CERN is all about, okay? So now Where's the magic in it? Okay, I see a lot of information coming through alternative media, and they're sort of revealing the doings of CERN. And most of those people that sort of reveal the most information, there's quite a few different people that are sort of give constant update on CERN and talk about what it is. And most of them will have that Christian program, meaning they'll have a sort of a program through what they look at CERN through. And it's very clever because, you know, I've said it, some people send me another, you know, one of these updates, and I said, you know, I don't even know anymore if the truth that this, that is given through this Christian program is worth listening to, because the lies and the manipulation with that same truth that is revealed is so huge that I don't know if it's worth it for us to know the details that are given to us. There are truths in those, through those people. Because I'll tell you right now, 99%, again, 99% of people that give information about CERN give more manipulations and lies in their videos and their information and their radio shows than they give truth about it. And then you decide if it's worth it or not for you to hear the truth. Because I'll tell you where the lies are. And this is one that is very big one, because it is directed at Earth's timeline and at Earthlings. Because what is the main thing that is sort of driving the Earth's timeline? It is the organic biogenesis, meaning transforming your light existence into internal source existence. So transformation or biogenesis, or whatever you want to call it, or a healing process, or whatever it is. But basically what the purpose on the planet for the souls are to transform from light into internal source creation. With all of the CERN information and that all that people that know what's going on at CERN and revealing to you the truth, what they do actually is they do a lot. They try to do a lot of damage to Earth's timeline, because we know that internal source creation on the planet is the dark energy and dark matter. Our core is full of dark matter. It is, this is internal source creation. When people give you truth about CERN through their Christian point of view, what do they give you? What they tell you? That CERN is actually trying to open portal into dark matter, into dark energy. What have they done with that? They, first of all, they flipped what CERN is doing. CERN is not opening a portal into a dark matter. They're harvesting the dark matter. I've said this in my interview with Lisa Harrison back in September, that they are harvesting the dark matter. Because when you remember from my, I don't know if I can find that, probably not, but when remember that that internal source creation, which is that dark energy, when it takes a breath out, this is the Big Bang, and this is how light created. So this is the dark energy. So the reason they wanted to harvest the dark energy and dark matter is because they wanted to be creator gods. They need to create more light existence. This is how they create extended light existence, is through harvesting internal source creation, which is dark matter and dark energy. The Christians through that information are telling you, like, the dark matter doesn't exist on this planet or within this universe, that somehow CERN is trying to open a portal to that dark matter and dark energy. This is the trick that does two different things. It divides you. And the number one thing is demonizing the internal source creation. And how do you heal yourself, and how do you go into the internal source creation? It's your pure intent. But if they manage to create a fear of it, then they got you. They got your ass, and they are harvesting you. And so this is why I say I don't know if that information is even worth to listen to, because it's so full of lies and so full of tricks. It wants to demonize internal source creation, so you stay on your harvesting path. So you stay on harvesting path, and you stay on self-sacrifice path. So I'm going to go ahead and say this much, that those people that give you the information about CERN running through a Christian program are working CERN agenda. They want to create fear of internal source creation within you, so you stay on your self-sacrifice path. So they are working CERN agenda, because I'll tell you what, that CERN in Switzerland right now, what is it doing? I mean, with all of that fear and hate that is created through those videos, where do you think it is directed? It is all directed to that CERN in Switzerland. People barely have any idea how many CERNs there are on the planet. They have no clue. All they talk about is CERN in Switzerland. So all that hate and all that anger and all that rejection that people feel, that CERN in Switzerland is eating it up like it's a dessert. And what do? And they feed the astral level with it. So it's a feeding frenzy. So these people that release those videos, they're feeding astral levels. They are directing you to direct your energy to that specific location of CERN in Switzerland, because that one is also where the belief systems are run through, is the one in Switzerland. And we talked about this, over 600 different belief systems that are in all the New Age things, and we talk about who's running the CERN agenda, and that's all and any kind of ascension teachings, all and any kind of. I can't repeat that enough. There is no good or right ascension. It is only for harvesting and self-sacrifice path. There is no good ascension, okay? So what they are doing actually there is they grabbing all that energy, and they're projecting towards astral levels. They're feeding astral levels. So all of those videos, if you buy into them, and specifically if you buy into that Christian program that's running through it, you are feeding astral levels. I wanted to address that because it is so prominent right now. There is a feeding frenzy out there that comes to CERN right now. And I wanted to address that because it is so huge right now. It became so huge. Don't buy into that. Okay? Guys, don't buy into that, because Earthlings, please don't, because you know what it is. You know it's a pyramid system. You know what it does. You know what it's meant to do. And you also know that, because you know that. You have the feeling within you that they won't succeed with that. So don't buy into that emotional hook that they keep throwing at you through all these certain revelations that are out there in alternative media, because you will get hooked. You will get hooked, and you, like with everybody else, you're going to pay attention to that CERN. I mean, they give you that website that you have 24/7 access to, and that's a hook. They've hooked you. So you can watch that website and you can pour your emotional energy into it. You can pour into it. And what they show is you the spikes of it. That is a human energy. They measure how much of that energy they're getting. It's ridiculous. The things that people say, well, what happened in Nepal, CERN did it. It wasn't the one in Switzerland. What happened in Nepal was done by the one in Japan, Russia, and Middle East. And for CERN to do something physical on the planet, they have to triangulate it. And I've said this before. There's at least 12 locations of CERN on the planet. But each of those locations will have 3 locations to it, because there's going to be different sort of job that they do, but it comes in 3 because they have to triangulate those waves to create an earthquake. So the one in that's just happened in Nepal, the one in Switzerland, the CERN in Switzerland, did not do that. Did not do that. Okay? There's different locations that did that. But what CERN in Switzerland does, it actually takes the energy from people. It harvests the energy from people. Yes, they do still. Every one of the CERN locations will be harvesting the dark matter. Okay? So I wanted to address that because it seems like a lot of people are buying into that Christian bullshit. That a lot of people are running. It's a fear program, and you know it's a fear program. And I've said this before. For them to keep you in control and to keep you in that extended light reality, what they need to do is they need to give you some sort of fear. It can be masked as so many different things, but it's fear. And with this Christian program and CERN, you know, it's so obvious that it's a fear program. It's so freaking obvious. It cannot get any more obvious than that. So I personally stopped watching all that crap because there's so little truth in there, and there's so much lies and so much manipulation, and they're all working at that, creating that magic of fooling you, fooling humanity. So this just, you know, I keep getting this Christian bullshit about CERN, and that's why I wanted to address that, because I wanted to tell everybody who will listen this, that is a program. That is a harvesting program. They are harvesting your energy. They're projecting that energy towards astral level. There are some people are even telling you, oh yeah, CERN was working with astral levels, and there is a portal in astral levels. So hate that too. So then you can, and you know, when you do that, or when you try mentally to sort of disassemble CERN without understanding what it really is, they had fooled you. They have fooled you, and now you're projecting your energy towards astral portal. Just sort of ground yourself in this information. We have to take the magic out of this magic trick. Yes, there's many other layers to it. There's other planets, this whole solar system layer to it. But we'll get to it once we sort of take the magic out of it right here on the planetary level. Once we do that, then we can move on and take the magic out of it on the solar level system, because the solar level is much even bigger than the planetary level. But if we are not working towards that and concentrating on what they want us to concentrate on, and they don't even talk about that, and we are supposed to concentrate on one in Switzerland and forget about the list over here, you know, and we shouldn't know what they're doing here, right? Because they're showing us what's going on in Switzerland, right? It's on the computer. Everything is there, minute by minute, second by second. So get glued to that, and they've got your ass. So I just want to say that don't fall for the tricks. See the energy behind it. See the energy behind it. Work on that, recognize it, the energy behind it. And how you're going to do it? Through a personal healing, through activating your whole body intelligence. This is how you can recognize and see the tricks, how the tricks are done on you. So I wanted to address that, and hopefully it's helpful for all of those people that are paying attention to CERN. And I mean, I'm not saying don't pay attention to it. Feel the energy behind it. Feel the energy behind all this information that's coming out about CERN. Feel it. Feel it through your body. Feel it through your whole body intelligence. You will know the energy. And once you know the energy that powers the words, powers the information that's coming out, you will take the magic out of that magic trick. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. And if you have questions about it, let me know, and we can go into sort of more detailed information about that. I would like for us as a group to sort of finally work all the little details about CERN on the planetary level, so we can sort of, you know, take the magic out of all, you know, steps that it takes here on the planetary level. And so then we can move into the solar level, because that one is whoa. and you know, I'm actually excited to sort of move to that next level of you know, of this magic trick that they're trying to pull on us, which is you know, they're trying to, you know, pull us into another timeline, matrix timeline. So, but here we are. And Earth's timeline is still on. It's moving forward, and we can tell how desperate they are now, but that's just what it is. It's expected. I love you guys. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you later.